Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and today we have a video from Tom Groot Kormelink of the Netherlands, and he sent us a puzzle that we did about a month ago. I think it was Pathway Sudoku, but this one is called Chess Pairs Sudoku. And it's actually a very simple idea, but it's a slightly unusual rule that we haven't used before. A chess pair is formed by any two digits which can see each other by any chess move. So basically you just have to think about the queen and the knight because that covers everything. And therefore any two digits that are either sharing a diagonal, like those two digits, or a knight's move apart, like those two, are a chess pair. And the rule here is that every digit in the whole grid is part of a chess pair, and that's it. So that's the rule. Every digit in the grid is either a queen's or a knight's move away from another identical digit. Normal Sudoku rules apply, of course, which is quite important because that contradicts a lot of the chess moves. Rooks are completely irrelevant for that reason, for instance. Anyway, do have a go at the puzzle on the link below the video before watching my solve. I'm going to have a crack in a moment. First of all, I'm just going to mention all the stuff going on Patreon at the moment, what with puzzle hunts, crossword solves, content from Prasanna and the Discord server. I mean, there's a lot going on there, and do have a look at the Discord server as well. Links all in the description below the video if you expand it. So, all of that said, and a reminder to subscribe if you haven't already and you like the content, please do that. But let's get cracking. So, let's try and do some regular Sudoku first. I have a feeling that this is going to play difficult because it's... Normally Sudoku is a kind of negative rule. You have to not repeat things. Here, though, you have to find, presumably, things that do repeat, and that doesn't feel natural in some ways. So at the moment, I'm filling in what I can see as just ordinary Snyder pencil marks to show within boxes where numbers are confined. So, for instance, if we can see 5 there and 5 there, we know that the 5 in row 7 must be in box 8. It's getting quite an interesting pattern, but I don't really think we're getting anything to go off. Actually, ones are confined to there. So in fact, we've got a 5, 6, 1, 4 quadruple there. So I'm actually going to fill in the numbers. 1, 5, 6, 1, 4. I think that's right. So let's take them out of the corners now, because that's just getting very busy with the markings. 1 and 4 is confined there. Yeah. So these other ones are 2, I can't control my mouse, 2, 7, 8 and 9 in those 4 cells. And there's not very many, there's no 7s in the grid. 1, 8, 1, 9. Ooh, I think we might be starting with the lower numbers. But I mean, well, it's an interesting quadruple, but it doesn't really advance our cause very much at all. And I'm not sure I'm seeing anything that does help. So we're going to have to look at this rule, which I've been putting off. Ah, okay, yes. Yes, okay, we're given a lot of digits near and in the corners. And I think that's probably significant. This top left corner, for instance, you can forget knight's move. That couldn't see a 3 by knight's move because it would have to be in the same box. Therefore, it must see a 3, obviously not in its row or column because they're ruled out by normal Sudoku rules, but it must see a 3 by diagonal. And on this diagonal that the 3 can see, there are a lot of cells that are ruled out, either because another digit appears in them or because they're seeing another 3 in a normal Sudoku sense. And indeed, all of those are ruled out. So there is only one digit to put the 3 in. So that 3 goes there. Then we can use regular Sudoku to put a 3 in box 2. We get a 3 in one of those cells. yeah, when we do get some traction, that's intriguing. It all gets a bit more manageable. Yes, 3 here is ruling out those. That 3 is ruling out those. Actually, I could have done that earlier, but never mind. Oh, and that gives us... I could have got this 3 by regular Sudoku. Gives us that 3. And we're left with these 2 pairs. Now, can we disambiguate those by the rule? I tell you what I'm going to do is highlight the 3s, just for now. This one and this one are seeing each other by diagonal, so they're resolved, and these 2 see each other. So all of those 3s have been resolved by the rule, and these 2 see each other by knight's move. But what about this one? It's not seeing anything by knight's move, so it's got to see a 3 on the diagonal. It's got to see one there. Perfect. So the rule has sorted out all the 3s. That 3 is fine, it's seeing that. So there we go. 3s are suddenly done. And that wasn't too bad at all. Now, let's try another corner. Let's try this 2s. Now, there's not so many 2s in the grid, so this may not be so straightforward. Again, obviously, it cannot be seeing another 2 by a knight's move, so it must see one on the diagonal. And these cells are all impossible. Oh yeah, perfect. There's only one cell where it can be. Straight in, 2 there. That's going to give us a 2 in one of those. Now again, I'm having to constantly fight the idea that I can eliminate one of these. I can't yet. I have to rule one of them in, not one of them out. And that is complicated for me. Now, where do we get to down here? I can't see much else happening in these boxes with 2s. So, still got quite a few 2s to place, 4 of them. But now let's have a look. Let's highlight the ones we've got and think about this rule again. So those 2 on the diagonal, that's how we've got that second one, are seeing each other. Oh, this one's very interesting because it can't see any others by knight's move. This one I'll come back to. I suppose wherever a 2 is in box 2, it's going to be able to see it, either on the diagonal or the knight's move. So that one's not a problem. This one, though, it's got to, because the knight's moves are all ruled out, they can't be 2s, it's got to find one on the diagonal somewhere. Not there, not there, not there, not there. Still in the same box as a 2. Not there because of that 2. This has to be a 2. That's marvellous. This is quite fun. This can't be a 2 now. Oh, but that doesn't solve which of these is a 2. So oh, that one was going to be alright, whatever was there. Now, whichever of those is a 2 is seeing that 2 by a chess pair. What about this cell, though? I can see that that one could see this by knight's move. Could this see a 2 if this was one? It could if there was a 2 here. How could this form a chess pair otherwise? Well, maybe it couldn't, but unfortunately this one can also see that one. So I just don't think we can resolve those 2s, and whichever of those is a 2 is going to fix this. Down here, yeah, both of those can see that. So we can't do any more with 2s, I don't think, at the moment. Let's go on to the next corner, going round the grid. So this 4. So obviously not seeing anything by knight's move. And perfect. The diagonal's going to work perfectly. Again, all of these squares are impossible because they have 4s either in their row or box. Therefore, this is the 4 that is forming a pair with that one. Now, then we have these 2. Okay, so that 4 allows us to put the 4 in row 1. Then we're going to get 4 in one of these 2 cells. Now the reason I'm getting excited about that is not because I can tell which one of them is a 4, but because I think that means we've now got a 4-2-5 triple up here. Which doesn't help much because I can't put 1, 7 or 9 in any of those cells, but I'm going to write it in the center of the cells because they are a triple. and take them out of the corners. Those cells are restricted to 425. Getting restrictions in this puzzle is not easy, and we're going to run out of the digits with high frequencies in a minute, so it's going to get harder. Now that 4, let's highlight the 4s again. So this one that we just put in, what is that seeing as a chess pair? No 4s are possible in those cells, so not the knight's move. So we have to look along its diagonal. None of them have been possible so far, and not that one either. Those two 4s are ruling out these last two. So 4 must go here to form the chess pair. That fixes 4 here. 1's now restricted. This is now a 156 triple up here. Now let's highlight them all again just to see where we are. Oh right, we're going to come down to a 4 in one of these two. And that works by knight's move, that works all sorts of ways. This one is a knight's move, as is that away. So we just can't resolve the 4s. They're a kind of X-wing pair in those cells. But we've got a lot done. And now, carrying on, a corner again. We've got a 5 here. And obviously these corner cells cannot see a knight's move. We know that by now. So that's not possible. So it's got to look along the diagonal. Can't be those cells because of this 5. Oh, blast. So it could be in either of those. How irritating. Okay, fine. Yeah, so odd to be looking for positive relationships rather than negative ones in these puzzles. Where else can a 5 be then? Any of those cells by normal Sudoku can be a 5. I'm not sure we're going to get any further thinking about 5s, but those are the ones in the grid so far. We've sorted out this one because it will get one of these two on the diagonal. Oh, this one though, well, it could pick up a 5 and the knight's move there. And it can't get a 5 on the diagonal. Is that right? 3, 3, 4. This can't be a 5 because this one needs a 5 on the diagonal in the box, and this one can't be a 5 because of that 5. Perfect. So this 5 needs a 5 to be here, and that is going to sort out this whole triple, all our 4s. It's going to sort out the 5 in the middle box. It can't be here now, so it must be here. That's just by normal Sudoku. Those 5s are seeing each other as a chess pair. We get a 5 in one of these cells. And that means the 5 in column 4 has to be this one because of just normal Sudoku. That 5 is ruling out those two cells. Right. So what about 5 in this box? One of those two. Let's just highlight all the 5s again and see if we can do any of the chess stuff. That 5 could see either of those, so that's not helping. These two 5s both see that by a knight's move. All these ones are in play based on these two, and that one could see that. So we can't resolve 5s any further, I don't think. It's a weird puzzle, this. Right, but that's 5s. Now we've done all the corner pieces, but this 6 is, I've noticed this as we've been going, because its knight's move are all ruled out again. So where does 6's counterpart appear? It's got to be on the diagonal. This is a lot less helpful. Could be in any of those 3 as far as I can see. No reason they can't be 6's. Oh, okay. Well, I thought we were going to make some more progress. How about this 6? Yeah, is this working? No, nearly. That 6 has got to be in a chess pair, and it cannot see a 6 along this diagonal anywhere. Therefore, it's either got to be a knight's move away, which would have to be outside its box and therefore here, or a diagonal away, which would have to be here. So one of these two is a 6. It does mean this cell can't be, and the 6 in the top row must be in one of these two, but that doesn't allow us to choose which one. Or is there any chance one of them can't pick up a piece? No, we've got, 6 there is in columns 5 and 6. 6 here is also in columns 5 and 6. So the 6 in column 4 has to be here, which we could have seen by noting that there couldn't be a 6 in those cells. 6 up here is in one of those two because of this 6. Wow. I can't help feeling I could do a bit more work on 6s and find out more, but I don't know. The trouble is, after 6s, we're coming to 7s, 8s, and 9s, and there's only two of those numbers at all in the grid. But I think we're going to have to get there at some point. So, this 9 actually is unable to see another 9 by a knight's move. So, it's got to be on the diagonal. Oh, bang! Yeah, that has to be the number. That is the 9. That's the only 9 that can form, the only cell that can form a chess pair with this 9, because that's the only other vacant cell on its diagonal, and it's in the same box. So that's not a 9. Right, that 9 puts a 9 in one of these two cells in box 2, but nothing about that is helpful as regards chess pairs, because both of them can see that in a chess form. Well, maybe there's not much else we can do. Again, 9 is restricted to these cells like 6, but I don't think we can take that much further at the moment. What about 1s? We got some distance with 1s. I might go back to 1s. 1 is in... These 1s are putting a 1 in the central row here. 1 is up here, therefore, in box 6. Oh, look, 1 there and 1 there. We can actually place the 1 in row 8. Sorry, I hadn't seen that. Okay, that gives us a 1-6 pair up here, which gives us a 9-7 pair in the column. Now, let's have another look at 1s. We've got a little square, including 2 1s, which must be diagonally opposed. They certainly see each other. Yeah, maybe I haven't done enough work on what these 1s can see. That 1 and that 1, these are the ones we've placed. Now this one, it could see a chess move there, or a queen's move there. So because this one can see one of those two cells, it doesn't help with this 4 piece at all. This one? No, it's either going to see... Oh look, 1 and 6 have now been confined to just these two cells, so actually they're a pair. We can get rid of the corner markings there, and 5's got a bit more limited than it was. In fact, 8's limited to those two cells now, which puts 8 in one of those two. That may pay off at some point. Let's stick with 1s though. Either of those is possible. That 1, yeah, that's seeing either of those, so that's not very helpful. Up here, I think any of those positions can see the others by chess moves, so that's not actually telling us much either. So maybe 1s have stalled a bit there, irritatingly. Oh. 8s? I don't think 8s were giving... I suppose we had a little bit more going now with 8s, but It's not very helpful. I suppose if that was an 8, no, there's tons of places it could see something. That's not worth pursuing. 5, 1, 3. This could be 7, 8, or 9. 2's in one of those. No, we've looked at 2's recently enough that there's nothing to be gained from them. Crumbs, how are we going to figure this one out? Well, I'm going to go back to 6's and look. No, that can see both of those. That can see only that cell. So if this was a 6, yes, intriguingly, it couldn't see another 6 on the diagonal. So if this was a 6, it would have to see this cell on a knight's move. That would make this a 6. This would be a 6 because of the normal Sudoku. Either of those are still possible. That one's now picked up a 6 on the diagonal, so this is looking all too plausible. One of these two as well. Don't think. Oh, but this 6 down in the bottom right, this wouldn't be seeing a 6, would it? Oh, it could see one there. Oh, that was close. Yes, I remember that 6 was going to see a 6. Well, it's now either there or there. Irritating. Okay, that doesn't advance the cause particularly. This is an intriguing puzzle. What number am I meant to be looking at to determine where it can't go? That is absolutely how you have to look at this. So let's try these 8s. I don't know that they're helpful at all, I have to say. I just don't know how to limit anything. I know there are places where everything can go. It's where things can't go. I guess what is this cell? This is 7, 8, or 9. Now, whichever of those it is, it's not seeing a counterpart by knight's move. So it's got to see something on the diagonal. And that has got to be... Oh, there's several places. Could be in any of those. Maybe we need to find a diagonal that's very full and speculate about the number on that, as long as it can't see anything else by knight's move. That's a big order. This cell is seeing a 9 and 8. That's not very helpful. Oh dear, what can we do? Those 2's, no, they're not useful. This is an intriguingly difficult puzzle to even work out how you're meant to approach it. That's the real difficulty here. So we've got a lot of, we've got 3, 4, we haven't got 5 done everywhere, but oh, and we did limit it a bit up here, didn't we? These are the remaining possible 5s. Are any of those in impossible positions? It seems very unlikely. This is interesting. If there was a 5 here. Oh yes, it's picking that up on a knight's move. Yes, they're useless. That would pick either of those 5s up. That one would pick either of those up. There's just no use here. This cell, yeah, it gets that. This one gets the same. Yeah, 5s are not helpful. I think that's official. Now 9s, let's go back with 9s again then. We've got 9s in one of those, 9 there. Ah, that 9 means 9 is in one of these 2 cells. Should have spotted that before. We can take 9 out of that one. 9 must be down here somewhere, so now 9 is over here in one of these 2. this cell would be a bit isolated. No, but it could pick up that 9. This one. Ah, actually knights moves are impossible. None of these can be a 9 for various reasons. Principally because of those two. So this can't see a 9 by knight's move. So if this was a 9, well, you'd definitely have a 9 here, because 9 there would force a 9 there. So they're no use there at all. 9 is now limited to these 2 cells. Ah. Okay, this one might give us something. 9 is impossible by knight's move from here. So on the diagonal, it cannot be there or there because of, well, because of 9 being up here and that 9. So that's not possible. So this 9 needs a 9 on the diagonal here. And although both of these 2 cells are possible, what that means is, in fact, I think they both have to be 9s. Because, oh no, what I'm saying is, if this is a 9, there is a 9! Look, 9 is confined up here. Oh, the only place for a 9 in this column is here. There we go. 9 is there. And what I'm saying is these 2 both have to be 9s now, because at least one of them has to be a 9. So that can't be a 9 because it would prevent both of them being 9s. Wow. So these 2 are both 9s. Well, let me do it in order. That one now has to be a 9 because it's needed in the box and it's the only place left. This one, because of the position of those 9s, this becomes a 9. So this is not 9. I'm acting as though this has blown it completely open, but I have no idea if that's the case, unfortunately. But at least we've got some progress. Now, I'm going to highlight all the 9s yet again because I just don't know what to do without doing that. They're all sorted. This one, though, this needs a pair. It can't do it by a knight's move, so it needs a pair on the diagonal. Oh, it's got pairs on the diagonal. What am I talking about? Right, so they're all resolved on the same diagonal. These 2 are on a diagonal. So we've got 9s there. They're going to be fine. In fact, wherever 9s are there and there, they're all going to be fine together. This is the only possible remaining problem. That will pick up one of those 2 by knight's move. Yeah, no, I can't do anything else. Let's put in the 8-7 pairs that remain. That is not a 9. These are, that's another 8-7 possibility, but these 2 include 9 as well. This is 7 or 8 as well, but this is 5, 8 or 7, and this is 5 or 7. 6, 49, 3. Wow, again, I'm going to have to find something else that gives us a move forward. Has filling in those 9s done anything that to the other digits? Not really. Am I going to have to look at 7s? I mean, I just don't know where. I suppose that is going to be 7 and 8, but both of them can see all sorts of cells by knight's move in there. That one can see that by knight's move. If I could just restrict these to diagonals, I could look along their diagonals and make deductions potentially, but it doesn't feel like I can do that. 1, 3, 4. So 7, annoyingly, can be anywhere up here. Everything else is quite restricted in that box. The 1? No, this could be a 1, that could be a 1. I've looked at the 1s ad nauseam. I'm quite pleased with that 9 spot, but I mean, it's so hard to pick these possibilities out. If that was an 8, is that... No, I've looked at that before. Even that has no problem picking out other possible 8s. The central box is so unlikely to yield anything interesting because it can see so much in so many directions. Really, we're going to have to go to one of these sort of cells in the corner, sort of near the corners, and work from there. This one ought to have been useful, but unfortunately... Oh well, if one of these is a 7, again, they can see so many cells by knight's move in here that that's not very useful. 6, 1. Maybe I should go through all the digits again just to make sure. I mean, we've filled in 3s and 4s everywhere. I think I've established, though, that the remaining 2s and 5s are all equally possible. There's not any chess rule to prevent them being in any of the possible positions. So it's really just Sudoku and then trying to sort out the 7s and 8s, I think, from here. Now, what about this cell? I mean, it's picking out all sorts of diagonal possibilities, so we're going to have to find some that isn't. What about this one? If this was 7, I could easily get a knight's move there. 9 there would put 9 here. That's not of any use at all. Knight's move. Oh dear, what on earth are we meant to be finding at this point? 8. 4. Maybe I'm missing some basic Sudoku thing that has resolved a possibility earlier and I just can't even see it. That's certainly not a 4 now. That is in fact one of our 7 or 8 possibilities. But that can see all of those cells. Well, sorry, no, I mean it can't be the same as that. 1, 6, so this is 5, 7 or 8. This is 2, 5, 7 or 8. I don't see any reason to rule any of them out. That's 2, 7 or 8. Sorry, this is a bit of a long gap between achieving anything, but this is not an easy puzzle to know where to go next from. 2, 5, 3, 4, 1, 1. Just don't think 1 can be a useful number for us. No, that 1 can see either of those. I was going to get excited because that 1 forces both of those to be a 1 if that was the required diagonal that it needed to see something on, but it is not. And that's quite likely to be a 5 because of the 5s along there. If it was a 7 instead, well, you'd have 8 here, you'd have 5 here, and 5 here. This would be 8, that would be 8, that's fine. If this was 7 though, that would be 8. This would be 8. Maybe that's not so fine. No, there's no problem with that at all. This is very tricky. Very tricky indeed. 2, 9, 5, 3, 4, 1. Again, there's probably a very simple question that we can ask somewhere and establish something vital, but it's so hard. Oh look, Sudoku. How about that? This can't be a 2 anymore, and why I've been thinking it could be is beyond me. 2 is definitely here. That's the sort of discovery you make, that you hate yourself for wasting time not spotting, and then it probably doesn't help much. Mind you, it means this cannot have a counterpart here. So whatever this is, 7 or 8, needs to be seeing a 7 or 8 on the diagonal. You can already see an 8, and either of those two could be 7. So depressing. This could be 6, 7 or 8. 3, 4, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 there. No. I'm finding this extremely difficult, as you can tell. Where can we find a number to make progress here? 2, 9, 5, 3, 4. That 7 or 8 means one of these is 7 or 8, but that's not useful. There must be a position which, whatever it is, can't see much. There just must be. This position. No, it's picking up loads on the diagonal. Did that already, but that was in a useful spot, so maybe is that useful? So that can be 6 or 7 only. Maybe there's a reason it can't be 6. Oh, don't tell me. No, I nearly. It can't pick up a 6 on the diagonal, but it can pick up a 6 on the knight's move there. So irritating. Where would 6s be then? The 6 there, 6 there. We'd have a 6 here, 6 there. Those two are on the diagonal. So are those two. That's a knight's move. We're not coming back to this one again, are we? This 6. Can't see anything on the knight's move, so it needs either a 6 there or there on the diagonal. They're the only places. Do they rule out a 6 from being somewhere else? The fact there must be one 6 on one of those? I don't think so. Really don't think that they prove anything. How about 6 here? Maybe that's... Oh, come on, that's looking a lot more promising. If that is a 6, where would it pick up a chess pair? Not here. This one because it's in the same box. So it would need a diagonal. This can't be 6 because of that. This can't be 6 because of the pairs of 6s there. That's it. There we are. Row 2, column 9 has to be a 1. Surely this is going to finish us off now. He says, praying. What a puzzle. I mean, that is just mad. So 1 in row 3 is there. That makes this a 6. We will... I still don't know about the 1s in these cells. Let's have a look at what 6s we've now got. In fact, let's just... Oh, we can take 6 out of there. Okay, so the 6s we have got are as shown here. Now, this one needs a counterpart by knight's move. Yes, I mean, by a diagonal, I mean. We've said... I think the interesting point now is what would happen to a 6 here. That couldn't get a 6 by diagonal at all, or by knight's move. So this can't be 6 now. This can. This must be, I mean. Wow. That has taken some doing. So we've restricted 9 and 1 in this box suddenly now to... No, we haven't. 1 could not have been there. We've restricted 9. 9 must now be here. Is that definitely right? Yes, 9 can't be there or there. Yes, that's 9. just don't want to make a mistake at this point. So that puts 9 here. So we've got loads of 7, 8 pairs now. So carry on with 6s while we were doing them. Highlight them all again. Right, that means this can't be a 6. There is one here. But that doesn't determine... Oh no, this needs a counterpart. And it's got to be on the diagonal, and now it can't be there. Perfect. So 6 here, 6 there to match that on the diagonal. So we've got a 1 here and a 1 there. Get rid of the 1 in the corner. Get rid of the 6. And we're down to mostly 7 8s. Wow, that has taken some doing. And we're still not finished. 6 up at the top is there. Yes, no, that's good because that gives us this as a 7 and that as a 5. So we can put 5 in here as well. Take it out of here. 1 6 7 3 4. What have we got here? 5 is fixed. Yes, that's 5. That places 2. That places 8 and 9. Suddenly the whole of box 2 is done. So that fixes the 7 9 pair. I know that we are still going to be left with a bunch of 7 8s everywhere virtually. Oh, that's a 2 now, and that can't be. Right, so just 7 and 8s left. So let's highlight the 8s. Now this 8 can't see an 8 by knights move, so it needs one on the diagonal. Oh, it's definitely going to get one in this box, so that's no use. This 8 can't see an 8 by knights move. Ah, it needs an 8 either here or here. That 8 would create that 8. Yeah, that does sort out 8s. I don't know if that's the only way, but it means that we can't have... Oh, in fact, obviously, that 8 sorts out this 7 8 pair. We can just do regular Sudoku. God, flying ahead, missing the obvious. It's what I'm always accused of, and it's probably a very fair charge. But honestly, you get caught up in the patterns of these puzzles. Absolutely fascinating puzzle, that. I mean, there was probably an easier way through it. It should not have been taking me a 42-minute video, but it did. Very clever, Tom Group Cormelink. Thank you for sending that intriguing puzzle. You'll forgive me if I don't take on any chess pair puzzles in the near future, because that has fried me. Thanks very much for watching. I hope that was of some entertainment to you. And I hope to see you again soon on Cracking the Cryptic. Do subscribe if you like the stuff and you haven't already. See you again soon. Bye for now.